Geonosis and worlds with similar natives were one of the most important worlds of any galactic government to control in order to sustain peace and authority. But why exactly is this world, and others like it, so incredibly affluent in the galaxy? Now, there are many reasons why Geonosis plays such an important role in both the Clone Wars and the Age of the Empire. For one, it has a thriving industry making weapons such as droids and tanks. For this reason, it's very important for this world to either be allied with you or removed from the fray completely. The actual location of the world is not even strategically significant. However, we know as soon as the Republic got word that it was functioning again, they were quick to deploy numerous legions of clones, Jedi, and entire fleets to smother the desert world before this problem became out of hand. Even worse, when it came to the Empire, they weren't taking any chances. They ravaged the world for forced labor and then used chemical weapons to drive the species to almost extinction. But why? There were so many other ex-Separatist worlds that were not treated anywhere near this badly. The truth is that the real power from this world, and therefore its threat, doesn't come from its factories, but its species that dwell there. The insectoid Geonosians live in a class-ran society. They're not really individuals, at least 99.99% of them aren't. Majority of them are just additions to the hive mind, which is quite difficult to explain, but basically, Geonosians are bred into a system where they have a job and a duty, and they will never question their place in that society. The Geonosian queens and the archdukes, such as Poggle the Lesser, have unquestioned power, and the drones will essentially just obey until they die. We see numerous times Geonosians employ almost suicidal tactics on the battlefield, because that is just their purpose, and this is largely due to the hive mind. Everyone works towards the greater good. Now, this makes them one of the most dangerous species for any conquering force. Essentially, the Republic was never going to be able to negotiate the surrender until the Queens were captured, as they were really the only ones capable of actually orchestrating a surrender. And the Empire could not terrorize the Geonosians into submission, as they weren't necessarily scared. Well, they may have been, but their sense of duty was far higher. And this completely changes the dynamic of warfare. In many cases, a conquering force will attempt to break the will and stop the people's support of the resistance. The Empire specialized in this, but with Geonosis, you're dealing with a species who doesn't need morale to keep going. It just comes natural for them. You can bomb them, destroy their hives, blockade their resources, and they will just rebuild and get back up again and again. They really are one of the most resilient creatures in the entire galaxy. You could never hope to occupy their world, as they'll never stop fighting you until every last one of them is dead. The only real way to defeat the Geonosians was to kill their queens. However, they were almost impossible to find, buried deep beneath the ground. And for most invaders, this just wasn't worth the time or resources it would take. You would incur massive losses trying to find these queens. In reality, the Republic got very, very lucky finding a queen. It's for this reason why Geonosis is possibly one of the biggest threats to the galaxy's governing powers, because defeating them is almost impossible. In reality, if the Clone Wars didn't end within 3 years, it's very likely that the Republic would have had a third, even fourth, and so on battle of this world. I also believe this is why the Empire was so cutthroat in its own approach. They knew that they couldn't win. It was out of the question. So a total extermination to them seemed like the only way to actually ascertain victory and stop this world from causing them any further problems. Ultimately, the Geonosians' power comes from the very society that they live in, and defeating that is almost completely impossible. But what do you guys think? Are the Geonosians one of the deadliest threats in the galaxy? And who do you think is? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, I do hope that you've enjoyed. If so, please remember to like, share and sub, as it's really appreciated. And we're so close to 100k now, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for that. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter @TheLoreGuy and tick the bell for regular updates. But most importantly, thank you so much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.